The first light of day broke over Sparta, casting a pale glow over the rugged hills where I stood, now a king. But before all of that, I was once a child, no different than the boys of your age. And I remember that age well, the way the air in the early mornings felt sharp against the skin. I remember the whispers of the wind as it cut through the trees, the clattering of shields, and the shouts of our trainers. You see, the Agoge was not just a test of physical strength. It was a test of everything we were, everything we would become. I stand before you now to remind you of what it takes to rise above the challenges ahead. The lessons I learned as a young boy in the Agoge, harsh and grueling though they were, are lessons that forged me. Let me share with you one of the most significant trials I faced there, and what it taught me. When I was but a child, no older than the boys you may know, I was forced to face a challenge that would test not only my body, but my very soul. The Agoge, the Spartan training system, was designed to break the weak and strengthen the strong. We were given little. We were taught to rely on nothing but ourselves and each other. One winter, as the winds howled across the mountains and the cold crept into our bones, our trainers set before us a trial that would mark us forever. We were to spend days without food, without warmth, without comfort. We were to survive on our instincts alone. In the freezing cold, our task was simple: find food, build shelter, and return with proof of our survival. For a boy like me, it was terrifying. Alone, I could have failed easily. But I did not face this challenge alone. The first lesson that came to me was the value of my comrades, those who stood beside me, who shared the same hunger and fear. Alone, we were nothing. But together we became something more. I remember the first night, as the cold pierced through every layer of clothing I had. My teeth chattered, and my body begged for warmth. I could hear the other boys around me, their own struggles echoing in the night. It was in that moment I realized that it was not the strength of the body alone that would allow us to survive, but the strength of the will, the strength of the team. I could not give up, for to do so would mean condemning my comrades as well. The bond we shared became our shield against the cold. As days passed, we faced trial after trial, but we persevered. We had no food, no proper shelter, but we had each other. In those days, I learned the value of trust. I learned that leadership is not only about strength, but about knowing when to lean on others, and when to lead by example. My comrades and I learned to share what little we had, to give one another strength when it seemed there was none left. When we returned to camp, filthy and exhausted, we were tested again, not by our trainers, but by ourselves. We had survived because we were willing to endure together. The trial of the Agoge was not just about overcoming the elements. It was about overcoming the greatest challenge of all, the limits we placed on ourselves. The Agoge was harsh, more than you can imagine, but that was the point. It was designed not only to toughen the body, but to test the spirit. And through it, we learned that greatness is not given. It is earned through hardship, through the courage to push forward when the odds are against you. When I emerged from the Agoge, I was no longer just a boy of Sparta. I was a warrior, a man ready to face the challenges of the world. But more than that, I was part of something greater, something beyond myself. I was part of a brotherhood, a community bound not by blood, but by the trials we had endured together. The strength of Sparta lay not only in the arms of its warriors, but in the hearts of its people, united in purpose, in endurance, and in courage. So, I tell you this now, as you stand at the beginning of your own journey. Life will not always be kind. You will face challenges that seem impossible to overcome. The path ahead will be long, and at times, it will be unbearably difficult. But when you face these trials, remember what I learned all those years ago in the cold mountain air. It is not enough to be strong in body alone. It is not enough to fight alone. You must learn to trust those beside you, to work with them, and to lean on them when you cannot stand on your own. The greatest warriors are those who know that even in the darkest times, they are never truly alone. Strength, endurance, and courage are not just individual qualities. They are the qualities that bind us together, that shape us into something greater than the sum of our parts. Now, go forth and remember the lessons of the Agoge. The trials ahead are many, but they are not yours to face alone. Strength is in the team, and endurance is in the spirit. Now, as you move forward into your day, think not just of your strength, but of the strength of those around you. Work together, endure together, and know that in doing so, you will become more than you ever imagined. Farewell, and let your journey begin.